Smartphones are good. Folding ones, absolutely massive batteries, and camera systems that are backed by absolute legends. Yet, there is one phone this year I kept coming back to. It frankly surprised me. Low sales numbers, reviews middling at best, and really only offered two things that I hadn't experienced in quite some time: a truly thin phone and iOS. On paper though, that sounds a lot like the S25 Edge, right? Bigger screen, lighter, two cameras, and they kept the good second one, not just some random 3x lens that nobody uses. On a spec sheet, it should win in basically every category. And yet, I kept thinking about this clearly compromised phone. I'm Ricky Paramore, and here's why I keep coming back to the iPhone Air. This whole thing is probably far more dramatic than it should be. Yet here I am, and I want to talk about how this phone is somehow perfect for me. Coming from the S25 Edge, watching the keynote and hearing Apple mention a battery bank during it left most of us with a genuine pause for caution. Batteries have been getting good. While I've been going back and forth with Android and still largely using the iPhone 16 Pro Max for much of 2025, so battery not being great gave me just a splash of anxiety. Yet when pre-orders went live, I jumped headfirst into the iPhone Air. I had the most jam-packed method of snacking it on day one. We picked it up, grabbed some breakfast, and like I seem to do more often these days, I transferred everything while on cellular. Totally not the play, by the way. Do not recommend. Then we hopped in the car and drove off to a weekend trip, where I was going hiking and most likely putting it through its paces, right? Frankly, no. This is where the hints really started dropping for me. The geek inside my brain was rambling about how I didn't have the best battery life, or what if I needed the extra long reach of a pro camera, etc, etc. I was missing the magic. I just didn't know it yet, because I wasn't grabbing my phone. I was just living more in the moment. Not in a, I swapped all of my tech for a flip phone, a film camera, and a notebook kind of way. Although, I highly recommend you do still bring a notebook with you. There just wasn't much to test, right? One lens? Well, yeah, it's solid. In fact, I'd say it does a pretty spot-on job when you need it to. We've all been walking around with versatile little camera systems for the last few years, so learning that I didn't have an ultra-wide took me about a day. I very rarely use zoom lenses on a phone, so I clearly wasn't the target market for that anyway. I almost always go somewhere with one of my big cameras. When I need more than just a quick picture, I use that. For sure though, Ricky, what about battery life? Again, I love a good spec list. Who doesn't need the top line phone just to scroll reels, send text, check banking apps, and, well, use the phone as a phone? So many of us grew up with these things as little flip phones that turned into screens dominated by social media and, like, better games. That nerdy kid though, he loves that stuff. He would be over the moon with all the tech we have these days. But I'm a busy guy. I have a job, too many animals to count, appointments, a family, and so much going on that geeking out over phones isn't lost. It's just not something I have the time to do like I once did. And now I have other tools where at one point I didn't. When I need a big screen for something, I grab my iPad. When I need to get work done, I snag my Mac. If I really want to take photos, I have a camera. Like a lot of us tech nerds, I got a job. That hobby grew into something far wider than just one phone that used to dominate all of my screen time. So here I am, driving back from this little getaway with one thought rattling around like a loose screw. I bought the wrong phone. You'd assume it was the battery, right? No, actually, I was ending the day with more than enough juice in the tank, even while out in the middle of nowhere. What about the speaker? Well, you got me. That's the one thing I did notice, and immediately brought up to my wife. It was too quiet for what I mainly use the speaker for, listening to music in the shower. You're telling me that you have 800 different phones, but you don't have a speaker in your bathroom? You are most certainly correct. Instead of sitting it in there, it sits in a drawer and comes out to play ambiance for D&D. Yet the feeling was still there. I don't want to deal with potential Bluetooth drama in the morning. I just want to play a song and get on with my day. The air was just quiet enough that it bothered me. So I did what any sane person would, right? I went to Apple and picked up a Pro phone. Immediately, I felt myself gravitating towards the new shiny one that was, 9 days newer than the Air I'd been walking around with? And I was stoked. Pro cameras. I'm a pro. One of my favorite hobbies is filming for this very channel. And boom, easy backup camera in a pinch, and quite a bit of versatility. The new one also had quite the battery, so I was stoked to lose that battery anxiety again. Plus, a smaller screen, which, side note, I'd been excited for since snagging the Pro Max last year. All wrapped up in a nice little bow with probably my favorite case Apple has released in years. Texture gang in the back, you know what I'm talking about. So I returned the Air, and all was right with the world. Well, you read the title. This would be a very awkward time to tell you I'm 3 months in reviewing a phone I only spent around 12 days with, right? Nope. Instead, I went to a concert I'd been extremely stoked for. I was honestly excited to break in the new phone in my pocket, and I got concert photos from a phone. They were fine, pretty grainy. Movements were tough in the lighting, and they didn't wow me. It's great to have those memories, but my favorite photo from that night was the hint my brain had been searching for. A selfie of me and my wife in the moment. Seeing a band play live, and I was spending so much of it trying to test out little bits of my new gadget that I almost missed the thing I'd been so excited to see in person for some time. I can already go online and find plenty of shaky camera footage from other shows. So why did I feel the need to capture every moment? That geeky kid was sitting here fighting with the person I am today, testing out a new gadget instead of just being in the moment, enjoying it and enjoying the company I had there. This little review isn't meant to alter your view on our connection with our devices. I'll let trained experts talk more in detail on that. But this selfie I could have taken with literally any camera from the iPhone lineup, brought my brain back down to reality. So I started digging through all the other evidence I'd been ignoring. Remember that in-the-moment feeling I mentioned from the trip with the Air? This thing is so light, I routinely forgot I even had it on me. Instead, I just used the camera strapped around me and make conversation with the people I was traveling with. It also has the best haptics in an iPhone. I am that guy who turns on haptics for my keyboard, and if you have an iPhone Air, I implore you to try it. And it has this frankly incredible ability to be the thing you're excited to use while simultaneously being a phone with genuine limitations. You only have one lens, so you better line up a good shot with what you've got. Same selfie camera as the rest of the lineup, so it's still incredible. Versatile when it needs to be, easy when it needs to be. And battery life? I figured that out with the rest of my testing, so I did the thing I almost never do. I went and bought it again. Hey, I still have a return policy. If I get back and go, nah, I'll be Gucci. I even started prepping a whole video where I'd carry both the Pro and the Air just to see which one I picked up each day. I bet you can guess which one it was. And it wasn't even close. Over the last few months, I've gotten to know this phone by just living with it, using it for the things I actually need a phone for, and gravitating back to my other devices when I want to do stuff. That's been a small goal I've had whenever I'm using anything besides a foldable. The Air fell into a place I haven't had a phone fall into for a while. It was just a tool in my pocket, a window into the messages, banking, and stray photo lookup, or most recently as a secondary monitor while on a shoot. Thanks slightly larger screen size, you're the real MVP. And honestly, each day I was waiting for that bad battery to really get me so I could go, oof, there it is, the straw, and oh boy, I feel bad for that camel's back. It never came. This thing handled it without a sweat. The display didn't even dim. So chalk that one up for some wizard in Cupertino. This phone, whether they meant to or not, has targeted a very niche group of people who want a top-of-the-line device that also puts a box around some things. It's marketed towards people who put style over everything, but I think that's an unintentional side effect. It's surprisingly minimalist in a way I've always wanted from a phone. And honestly, you could replace the iPhone Air with S25 Edge for a lot of what I've said in this video. Look, these thin phones aren't long for this world, right? They're not going to refresh this for the next 10 years. I'll be genuinely surprised if we get a new one next year, or if they keep it beyond the usual 2-year cadence for this spot between the regular iPhone and the Pro. But while it is here, the things it does extremely well are so far beyond S tier for me that selfishly I hope they keep this thing around for years. Chuck a silicon carbide battery in here, wide just second speaker at the bottom, and for the fun kids out back, plop that 48 megapixel ultra wide on there. So we can take more of these frankly incriminating photos of our cats, and I'll be one happy camper. So class, what did we learn today? Believe it or not, the spec sheet often doesn't tell the full story. Being in the moment is pretty cool. Sometimes a limited experience can be exactly right for the right people. And if you're a geek who's graduated to geek that pays taxes, a little introspection goes a long way. Chasing specs is fun, I get it. A 5090 is exactly what you need to run WoW in Minecraft. But sometimes those little bits of joy are hiding in the place you least expect it. So if you're planning on upgrading your phone, go for the one that actually sparks something in you. That was a video essay from your guy.
The paw, and we pick up, and we go. Run.
And what I need in the background are like, like explosion noises.
Hopefully it sounds good. I think that's the real only worry, given that my voice is going here, but my mic is back there, so we'll see.
Get the good lighting on him.
Yeah, it's got the good lighting. The box! What's in the box?
Didn't fully reset?